we're rolling. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give a coin to somebody they proved me wrong. I was wrong. They were right. Right? Quit. I don't want to. Chris, get the AED. Because I'm sure people are falling over. This person, this team, oh, I can't move.
Yeah, no duh.
This person working for this team, the project's been in place since 2014. We got money for it. It's been passed around a few times. And it had an ad date of November. And they hadn't even started, really, the irrigation clearances. And anybody that's dealt with an irrigation company knows that that doesn't happen overnight. The design was maybe 15% at max. And they gave it to this person, and this person, they said, we're going to have it out by the 30th of November. I said, there is no way. It's not possible. I don't think you guys can get it done. I'm going to hold you accountable for the 30th. Well, this person, Gina Fox, come on up, Gina. This person, there's not a lot of people that have ever proven me wrong in the fashion that this person proved me wrong. And I know she likes to give a lot of people a lot of credit, but as a project manager, I know in order for people to want to help you, you have to have a good relationship with them. That means you're a good project manager. We're even getting letters from Denver. Heather was showing me one from Denver the other day. So I want to thank her for an outstanding job, because this intersection, anybody know where 60 and 40 is? Out there by Flatville? Has anybody ever seen accidents or been in an accident out there? Yes. Chris was sitting there and he got rear-ended at 65 miles an hour. The reason this project's so important is when developers come in and they build buildings and they build businesses, right? What do we make them do? Fix it. We make them put in turn lanes, right? We didn't do that. Well, we were going to have them. When's construction?
Hopefully January.
January construction starts and we will have turn lanes. So Gina, thank you very much. Somebody else wants to do one too, so we're going to get these very important things. You want to do now?
Yeah, there's another individual there that I think we should recognize. It's Karen Snyder's. She over the last. Come on down. For the past several months, we've been going through what they call our 4P process. Our 4P process, which is a statutory requirement, where we go out and meet with all of our counties, our commissioners, their local officials, anybody that they want to invite, and we go through our planning process. We hear about all their complaints, more complaints than kind of accolades, but Karen took that on. Johnny had to miss a couple of them out there in the Eastern TPR, and for 2 days, Karen took the bull by the horns and met with the counties, and she did a fantastic job. In fact, she created a bond with one of our county commissioners that I'm not sure anybody else would have had. So for that, Karen, we want to recognize you with this coin. Anybody else?
Any other accolades, Rick?
I can take over your meeting.
All right, so a couple little cleanups. We've been having some purchases. People are purchasing things. Maintenance, shirts, bags, engineering, other things, support, other things. Ladies and gentlemen, we are stewards of taxpayers' dollars. So what I'm going to ask you is to work with your program engineers, your program leads, Jims, and all the folks that are there. If it is something out of the ordinary, please get permission. Please stay within your statutory requirements on violations. Over $5,000 is and you go and use your P card, split purchases, or anything like that. If you haven't had the training, there's people over here that can train you. We've been having some violations on some things, and we got to do better, because right now we do not want a bunch of statutory violations and purchases and things going out there that are going to affect November 6th, right? We don't want the core requests coming in for those things. So let's do better. If there's something out of the ordinary that you need, please work with your program engineer, your program lead. They will bring it to RLT. They will bring it to me. If we don't know, we will find out. Because there's some things that someone says, hey, I want to buy this. Can we? I don't know. There's a lot of rules and policies that sometimes we don't know, that we don't handle all the time. We've been researching lately, like educational training needed for your job, licenses needed for your job. So work with us. Juliet and the team knows how to find those answers out. They'll call Denver. If we don't know, we'll find a way to help you. But please, stay within those statutory rules, please. We are a steward. Make sure we get that done. So, times are changing, right? It's getting cold out there. Projects are still going. There's still some wrapping up. But our maintenance forces are starting to crank. So, I think, how many people in here have done roadblocks? Raise your hand. So be ready. We have a plan in place. Our event coordinators are Tom, Chris, Wes, right? And if needed, we might throw in Tim. If needed.
I wouldn't.
If it's really bad, I will be with them. But those are the 3 people that will be setting up those events. And our event coordinator is in charge of all the storms. They're in charge of all the things. If it is a region-wide storm, everybody needs to be ready to act. Why do we do that? Because if we're putting maintenance people that can drive plows on roadblocks, what's not getting done? Plowing. So we're here to support them, help them do the things that we need, and make sure that we're supporting and being the best region in the state. And we are the best region in the state because we have such good support and everybody helps everything out. So this winter, what do we think of good, bad, and different? Medium winter? That means we're going to have a bad one? And we've had in the last couple of years, a couple of storms we've had kicked our butts, a lot of closures. I remember last year we had 89% of Region 4's roads closed at one point in time due to snow, so we have to be able to support them. So if you don't know if you're on a list, you might be on a list, but I need you on the snow list. Get on the list, talk to your RE, talk to your supervisor, make sure that you're ready to go. If you are ready to go, make sure you have your winter bag prepared, your snow clothes, your winter gear. If you go out on a closure, make sure you have food, make sure you have water. If you go on a road closure, make sure you understand what your role is. If someone rolls up and says, I'm going through no matter what you say, you give them the rules. If they do it, they do it. If someone rolls up and they threaten you, you just say, have a good day, right? Call State Patrol. There's radio training. If you don't have a radio, anybody that goes on a road closure should have at least a handheld or a radio in their vehicle. Make sure you're prepared. Don't roll out there and be stuck out there for 11 hours and you have nothing, and then all of a sudden you're sitting out there and you're dehydrated or cold or things have changed. So make sure you have your stuff, flashlights, radio packs. Do we need to do a training to make sure everybody's ready? Just maybe a brown bag? So we'll work on that. Elections are coming. 110, 109, 109, 110, however you want to say it, is on the ballot. Right? Everybody knows the things that are on that. If you need any education or you want to know, I'm doing a ballot discussion at my house Friday. Yeah, no one else is invited. It's just my family. But make sure you understand, one of the things I found out yesterday is 109 has a list. in the ballot, in the blue book. 110 does not have a list. The list is on our webpage. There is a list of projects that goes with 110, they just didn't put it in the blue book. But the website does have it. I thought the list would be in the blue book when I was reviewing it when I got my blue book, and it's not there. But it's not in the blue book. So if you need a list of projects and you need to educate people, please get the list off our webpage. Karen Snyder, you know where to send them to the website?
Yeah, if you go to CDOT.gov, it's the first, it's a pop-up box that you have to almost close out. It's, dare I say, pretty aggressive.
Can you repeat that, please, Johnny?
It's on some website.
The CDOT website.
CDOT website. It's the first little thing up on the left-hand corner. It says CDOT projects.
Yeah.
Can't miss it.
Can't miss it. So if you have any questions on that, you know, we're here to help. Wintertime, be safe. Our parking lot is plowed very well. Gene and the team do a good job. Our sidewalks are done well, but there is ice. So please be cautious. We did fix our ice spots out front, right, Gene? We're working on getting a cover over the back, so when you walk in, you don't have to worry about getting wet and snowed on in the back. When you walk in the back door out here where we park cars, we're going to look at getting a cover to cover that patio back there, because how many times you stand out there and it's raining, you got your books and stuff, and you have nowhere to set it down. So we think we need to get that covered so you have a place to stand. But be careful on the ice and the parking lots. Slips and trips and falls are our #1 issue that we deal with during winter. So don't be that one that falls and not paying attention and you're rushing in, or you didn't see an ice patch. So be careful. Be careful here at work, but also in your private time. All right? So, is there any questions before I turn it over to the wonderful people that got other announcements? Questions? Questions? Mark, no question? I'm picking on you. Notice I didn't ask Lee. No? None? All right, is there any announcements? New people? Juliet, hold on, Long. You're next. Come on up. Come on up, Juliet. Long, come up too. Come on.
So just two super quick things, you guys. So in November, on November 15th, we will have our quarterly interchange down here in this area. And we're going to have a CSAT person here, talk a little bit about the new peer-to-peer responder, first responder that we have out of headquarters. And then Chris Ugowich and Margot Kugler are going to talk a little bit about our first responding situation that we've established here in our region. And then, I blanked on the other thing. What was it, Tina? Oh, you may have gotten, if you're a supervisor, you may have gotten an email that says, live the values. So, you know, the values, Spicer, safety, people. Every month, September was actually the first month. I learned about it a little bit late. They're going to do a live the values. So if you have a work unit meeting and you want to go over, the first one is people. If you follow the link, it'll take you through some topics and things that you can discuss in your meeting. I am going to send a link out to RLT to make sure that everyone has it. And so it's just an option to go over all those values, all 6 of them.
And Mike will be talking about that in the Mike chat this week too.
Oh, and I guess Mike is going to be talking about that in the Mike chat this week as well. So that's all I got.
Open mic.
Do you want to say Halloween? Okay.
Here you go, Mom.
Long.
Mike chat. He said Mike chat.
Whenever.
Good. I want to announce that the newest staff of traffic, Sarah Meyer Rodriguez. Most of you already knew that Carol Nello gone for 3-4 years, and that boy, we struggle big time. not knowing it until you miss some, somebody left, and then you say, wow, we really need it. And Sarah, best fit, and we can't wait. We're so excited, can't wait. And the official date is November 1st. However, she's gracious enough that it's like, anything that you need help with from traffic, come and help us. Come and tell me, and she can help us. She can help. And in addition, she's helping us. She's still with maintenance too. And thank you very much, maintenance guys, for letting me take her.
Tim didn't take her, you stole her.
Okay,
Just be honest.
okay, stole. But Tim sometimes give me a hard time on that, but he's gracious. Just like, all right. But he kept telling me, she's a troublemaker, go ahead. But I know she's great. That's great. Just want to announce it. So, congratulations, number one.
Anything else? Anybody else got some new stuff? Hey, how's US 287 in LaPorte going? Perfect?
No issues. When's it going to be done?
Definitely some year in the future.
Some year in the future. That's a good answer.
2019.
Spring of 2019.
Big ribbon cutting.
I'll be there. Anybody ever been out there and seen you seen the news view where they put the big old Colorado flag on top of the thing? That was pretty cool. You can't see it when you're driving, but you can see it from the air. It's pretty cool. Anything else? Anybody else? So, as you've noticed, I'm sort of sitting up here in this office by myself. Occasionally I have Linda. Where's Linda? Occasionally I had Dee. Well, Beth is out for a while. If I'm grumpy, it's because I got to do work that I never had to do. My calendar is a mess. I don't end up going to meetings now without Beth. Things are not working as well and as smooth in the RTD's office. I'm getting a lot of support, but the funny thing is I don't know what to tell them. You don't know what you don't know, right? So they're trying to help me, and I'm like, I don't know. I've been so taken care of for the last 8.5 years that it's just hard. So be patient. If there's anything sitting in your desk that you thought you sent to me, we are still checking in documents. So if the document's not checked in, it never hit my desk. So Linda, and right now is acting, if she doesn't get it and check it in, it never came to the RTD's office. We got a book where we check everything in and we check everything out, because I don't want to get blamed when a document shows up on my desk that has 8/20/17 on it, and I'm signing at 10/18/18. It looks like it's sat on my desk for a year. That's not the case. Most stuff doesn't sit on my desk no more than 24 hours unless I'm out of town. So if there's something you have that hasn't been signed in 24 hours, you need to check with Linda, because typically it's probably not been turned in. Okay? So you have to be patient. We're still working on that. We're going to be sort of scrambling. Dee comes back, I think, next Tuesday. Then Dee and Linda will be working together again. But right now, Linda's got to manage sort of 2 offices with Corey's program and me. And I'm challenging. Anybody that knows me, I'm challenging. I have challenges. That's what I was told this morning by a few couple of people. So is there anything else? Be patient. We're all busy. Oh, we just had a meeting yesterday. I think I should talk about this. With all the REs and program engineers, we talked about if 109 passes, what do we do? If 110 passes, what do we do? Right? How are we going to manage? What is our resource needs? How do we manage our programs? Do we have to reorganize in Region 4? I will tell you, on an average, design and construction, we have been doing about $240 million of work. If we stay at the 240, we're still going to need some staff, because we got a lot of people stressed out in here. We know we've been working hard since 2013. And we've added $756 million of flood money. And then we had ramp, right? So we have $200 million out on I-25. So we've been working at a very high pace over the last 4 or 5 years. But we did talk, what do we need? What do our specialty units need? Right away. Right away, I found out the other day, 80% of the AG's office that deals with right away, 80% of their work is from Region 4. 80% of the AG's office is dealing with Region 4 work. Right? You guys heard me talk about 26 CADEX clearances in Region 4, 28 for the entire rest of the state. So we've been working really hard and we're still cranking, and we got to figure out through our workload utilization tool, your REs, your specialty groups, what there's a want, right? Hey, I need 500 people in my unit, and then there's actually a need. So we're going to start working through that over the next couple weeks. So if November 6th happens, we're ready to sort of start that conversation a little bit better. I promise you, we are already understaffed. I think by about 20 people in the region. That's across the region. I think that's what the document said when we run our normal program and where we've been. But we've been operating pretty effective and efficient. But we can't continue to operate at those speeds. So we're going to be evaluating, presenting our case. Here's my deal. You might want to turn this off because I can get in trouble. On November 6th, if any of them pass, I will celebrate. Right? On November 7th, I will celebrate in depression. Then on November 8th, I will pull my bootstraps up and come in here and we'll figure it out together. We got a lot of smart people in this building and a lot of smart people in this region, out in outer areas. So we're going to have to work together, solve those problems. I can't solve them by myself. Not one person can solve and do it by themselves. So we're going to have to work together, work with your program, work with your RE, work with your supervisor, have honest conversations. Right? The utilization tool is going, they're going to do a present. You guys going to do a brown bag on the utilization tool? So you can come in and see how we're managing the utilization work tool. We're the only region in the state that manages it from the top down, and now we want to get the REs and all the supervisors to be able to check it up. It's a high-level tool that allows us to know what our staffing patterns are. But they need your help. We can tell you, but that's not what we want to do. We want to drive it from the top and the bottom down, bottom up, top down, to meet in the middle somewhere. So work with your teams. All right, so that's coming. Don't panic. Don't come in saying I need 42 people, Jared. So work with us. Let's be ready for November. If it passes, then on November 8th, we can all figure it out. We can start moving forward. Any questions? Oh, and please, exercise your constitutional right. If you have not registered, I can help you get registered to vote. Right? This is a privilege. This is one of our liberties. So go vote. Don't forget. I mean, someone told me there was almost 30% of the ballots across the U.S. have already been turned in. You know, the mail-in ballots and the military ballots. There was 60,000 ballots from somewhere back east lost the other day on Channel 9 News last night. But they found them. I don't know where they might have came from, some camp, but they found them. They said they weren't compromised. But please vote. Please be diligent. It's your right. If you need anything on any of those things, we're here to help. Good. Thank you. Have a great week.